Guys, I am going to wait for about a minute or two to wait for folks to jump on board. So this is a little bit of a takeaway from what I normally do on Wednesdays. Normally I have my show at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, which I still am doing tonight, guys. So this is in addition to tonight's show. But welcome to the first Cozy Talks Strong Body Daytime Talk Show. And I'm just going to quickly angle the camera so you can see my very special guests. Yay! Suzanne and Karen, who are going to be helping us out today. So guys, if you're watching the replay, put replay into the comments section. It kind of just helps me see who's watching, and then also if there's any questions. I do go back and look and see what the questions are from folks who are watching the replay. I see some of you jumping on board. Give me a shout out. Y'all know I like to hear from you, so don't be shy. Let me know who you are, where you're from. I can't drink my coffee mug today because I'll be moving around and doing a lot of stuff today. So I am so excited, guys. Hey, Lori, we got Harsh on board. Thank you for joining. So guys, for those of you who don't know me, let me introduce myself. I'm Cozy Belloso. I'm a physical therapist here in Tampa, Florida. I've been a PT now for 19 years. I just met my 19-year anniversary in December. And I am an amputee specialist. That is my passion. Hey, Mark, we got Timothy on board from Minnesota. Guys, thank you so much for joining in. So for those of you who've been following me, in November, I launched my Strong Body series. So what does that mean? I'm going to go ahead and type it in here. My Strong Body series is a website, which I am going to type in, where you can access 150 exercise videos, guys. 150 exercise videos for above the knee amputees and below the knee amputees. So if you go to that website, you can see where you can sign up for that subscription. And I recently also published the book. So here is the Strong Body book for my below the knee amputees. The above the knee book is going to be coming out hopefully by the end of this year. But in this book, guys, and we're going to be going through it today, you have all the exercises. So all the videos on that website, the exercises are in here as well. Okay, so what we're going to be doing today, guys, is we're going to be picking one of my favorite exercises to do from this program. And folks, these are the exercises that I give my patients. These are exercises I give my beginner patients, my intermediate, and even my athletic patients. Okay, the reason I'm doing this show is because I know that there's not really any adaptive fitness programs out there for amputees. That's the whole reason I created this program. So many of you who have subscribed, this might be your first time trying to put a fitness program together. Okay, so I don't want to leave you floundering with it. I want to show you and break down this one exercise today and show you how you can do it as an above the knee and as a below the knee, and even my bilateral amputees out there who are listening in. I'm going to show you how you can do this exercise, okay? With prosthesis, without prosthesis. We're going to break it down. Oh, Mark, you are so kind. Let's see. Lori says, I had an above the knee surgery on the 23rd of this month and already up and walking with a walker here at Bay Pines, Virginia, St. Petersburg. That is amazing, Lori. So Lori, this exercise we're going to do today, this is something that you can start doing with your therapist as well. So the exercise we're going to be featuring today, guys, is called the bridge, okay? Y'all have seen me demonstrate it in various forms throughout the couple of years. With the bridge, we are targeting the glute muscles, the butt, okay? And we're also activating the core. There's so much that is going to be worked with this exercise. Why? Because the glutes are what give you that stability, that foundation, and that power when you're learning to walk with your prosthesis, okay? So many of you tell me, I can't get off the walker. I can't get off the cane. I don't feel stable in my prosthesis. A lot of that comes from having weak glute muscles. The good news is it's really easy to improve upon this, okay? It's really easy to strengthen this muscle group. You just have to know good form and you have to be consistent. Then Rupert, you want to stick around and listen up, okay? Now, a couple of things, guys. Before you start any exercise program, you need to check with your doctor. You need to check with your physical therapist. This bridging exercise, I use it for many, many, many of my patients, but it's not for everyone. An example is a lady I had come into my clinic this past week. She recently had cervical spine surgery, so surgery on her neck, in her vertebrae in her neck. She is not a candidate for doing this particular exercise, okay? And if you're experiencing low back pain or neck pain, you need to check with your doctor first before doing this exercise. All right, guys? Let's get started. We're going to start now with Suzanne. She is my beautiful below the knee model. You might recognize her because she is also an extremely talented cellist, and she is no stranger to the Cozy Talk Show. She was playing in my Christmas concert last year. Okay, so those of you who are watching the replay, if you are an above the knee amputee, you can go ahead and fast forward because this is the below the knee part, just to save you a little time. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so Suzanne, as you can see, is a left below the knee amputee. And guys, those of you who have bought my below the knee book, you can find this exercise on page 39 and 40. So those of you who are following along with your book, page 39 and 40, okay? I'm running out of space here, I'm in my garage. All right, guys, so the basic way to do this exercise, okay? I always have my patients try to do the exercise with their prosthesis on. Why? Because it's your leg. And the more your brain does with your leg, the more your brain will get used to the leg being it. And I'm hitting my patient here. That's really lovely. Okay, so we're going to try it with the prosthesis on, and then I'm going to show you how to do it without the prosthesis. So for those of you, for example, Lori, you're fresh out of surgery. You don't have your prosthesis yet. I'm going to show you how to do this exercise without your prosthesis. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to stop talking. Ready? Go ahead and bend up this knee. Okay. And guys, as you can see, her foot, well, she's wearing a black shoe, so it blends in a little bit, but her prosthetic foot is still pointing up. It's not going to lay flat on the mat. That's just not how the prosthetic foot works. Okay. You can tell you're in the right position because her knees are nice and even right here. Now, those of you with the below the knee prosthesis, if you're feeling any kind of pressure here in the back of the knee, it just might mean that you have to straighten out the knee just a little bit more until you find that comfort zone, so it's not pinching you in the back of the knee. Capiche? All right, so let's put you back where you were. So she is nice and comfortable here, okay, and she's nice and relaxed. Her arms are nice and by her side. Next thing I'm going to have her do, and this is the part, guys, where many of my patients do not follow good form, and this is where you want to see the results. You got to squeeze your bum. You got to squeeze your butt together, your glutes. That's how you activate them. So she's going to squeeze her glutes together. Then she's going to lift her hips up into the air. Up, up, up. She's going to hold it for the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then she's going to slowly lower it down. I tell my patients to think of an elevator, right? The elevator doesn't go shooting up and shooting down because that's nowhere, right? So you want to activate these muscles slowly and you want to keep them engaged. That's how you're recruiting all the muscle fibers that are weak. Make sense? So let's do a couple of more repetitions. And those of you who are doing it with us, you can do it right now. She's going to squeeze her bum together, lift up, 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 up for the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly down. Now, Suzanne is a very active young lady. She goes to the gym. She is no slouch. And this one is giving her, a challenge. So those of you who are a little bit further along in your program with your recovery process, and even some of you who are runners, don't underestimate this exercise. I can't tell you how many times I would have a runner come in, I'd have them doing this and I'd correct their form and they were struggling. So this is a really good one for strengthening. Let's do 2 more. Ready? Squeeze the bum together. Up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back down. She's going to go squeeze, up, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. And she's keeping her hips nice and even, which is what we want to see. Now I'm going to have her do 5 quick ones. Ready? Up and down, up and down, 3 and down, 4 and down, last 1, and 5. And she's doing a wonderful job of breathing. She's not holding her breath, which is really good. I'm going to let her rest for a moment. So why did I have her do those 5 quick ones? Okay. Those of you who have listened to my muscle talk, and it's on my YouTube channel, you guys can listen to it there. There's 2 ways to strengthen your muscle, right? You either overload the muscle and you create little micro tears and then they heal back stronger. Okay. The other way you make a muscle stronger is by recruiting more fibers in the muscle. Okay, so when we're going up nice and slow, we're recruiting those slow twitch endurance muscle fibers. When we're going up and down fast, we're recruiting the fast twitch power muscles. So I like to use these exercises and do them slowly and do them quickly to get all those muscle fibers recruiting. Make sense? Thumbs up. And I'm trying to keep up with the comments while I'm doing this. All right. So guys, this is the phase 1 exercise. This is for my beginners. Now we're going to do what's called phase 2 exercise. All right. And I realize this is an absurdly huge exercise ball. I did not mean to have as big a ball as this one, okay? So guys, when you become proficient with doing the bridging exercise the way Suzanne was just doing it, meaning you can do 10 slow ones and 10 quick ones, right? And you do it 30 times, and all of a sudden, you know, it takes time to build. It's going to take a few weeks to build that strength. But once you can do these exercises 30 times and you're not tired, then you're ready for this one, okay? And again, guys, with my patients, I always encourage, take your time to build a good foundation. Don't be in a hurry to do the phase 2 exercise if you're still struggling, with the phase 1 bridges, okay? It's not about getting to the end the fastest, it's about getting to the end the strongest. Does that make sense? I just made that up. Hey, pretty good. All right. So for this next one, guys, the first time people do it, usually they need someone to hold the ball. And usually I use a smaller ball. This is just the only one I had with me in my garage. It's ginormous. The other thing about my book and exercises, guys, all these exercises can be done at home, on your bed, and with very simple equipment. Walmart, Amazon, you can grab one of these balls, very inexpensive. Okay. So same thing. She's resting both of her legs on the ball. I'm going to hold the ball for her to give her stability. And it's the same process. She's going to squeeze her butt and then lift her hips up off the mat. And she's doing that beautifully for the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back down again. Okay? We're going to do it one more time. Squeeze the bum, bring it up, 2, 3, 4, 5, and back down again. Okay? So what is the difference between this one and phase 1? Obviously the ball, but you're having to lift higher, right? So the glute muscles are having to work a little harder, and you're having to really engage the core. And anybody who's listened to any of my talks knows how much importance I put on the core being activated and for it to work together nicely with those glutes. And now you're starting to, sorry, my hands are cold. Now you're starting to activate those hamstrings behind your thigh. And even some of the calf muscle, the residual calf muscle, which when we were practicing this exercise, Suzanne actually got a little bit of a cramp because she started activating that calf muscle back there. And many of you for my below the knee asked me about how you can start activating that. Okay, so we're going to do a couple more of these. So you're going to squeeze your bum and go up and then back down. Go up, 2, 3, 4, 5, and back down. And guys, I count for my patients. I count up to the count of 5 because it's very easy for us just to go up and down and not take our time to really hold that contraction. When you're holding that contraction, that's when you're forcing that muscle to recruit more fibers. Okay, otherwise you're just wasting your time. All right, so that's the phase 2. Now we're going to do phase 3. You ready? Yeah, she had her Wheaties this morning. She's good. All right. So for phase 3 exercise, and again, guys, once you're able to do the phase 2 exercise 30 times and you're not tired, then you're ready for phase 3. She's going to lift her bum up. Same thing, squeeze the glutes, lift up, and then she's going to lift up her residual limb. Ready? Go ahead. Or your sound limb. Very good. And bring it back down again. Sorry. That's okay. No. That was actually really good. Okay, so rest. So guys, what she did is she left her prosthetic limb on the ball and then lifted her sound limb to chest. Okay, so that's really putting the onus on her glutes and her core to keep things stable. And she did it beautifully. You can see the ball didn't wibble or wobble a lot at all. Okay, so let's try that one more time. Squeeze your bum. Okay, and then lift up this leg. Good. Up and then back down again. And then bring the hips down. Guys, this is a really challenging exercise, and we had a chance to practice before we went live. But the first couple of times that she did this, it was a little unsteady. Like I said, she got a cramp, activated a cramp in her calf muscle. The reason why I'm telling you this is because I don't want you guys to get discouraged. I see so many people that say, well, I can't do the way the exercise, the way the model is doing it because they look so good doing it. Guys, the first time people do exercises, it's not supposed to look pretty, okay? That's the whole point, is you have to learn how to do it and you have to build that strength, okay? So we're gonna try the other leg. We try the other leg? All right. So she's gonna lift, she's gonna squeeze, lift, and this time she's gonna lift her prosthetic side. Up, and then back down again. Good, and then bring the hips down. Good, and she did it smoothly. Notice how she did it smoothly and slowly. The first couple of times you try this, like I said, it's not gonna look pretty. The ball might go shooting out. You're gonna wibble wobble. That's okay. That's part of the learning process, okay? So we're gonna give Suzanne a moment. She's gonna take off the prosthesis and we're gonna demonstrate these exercises and how to do them without the prosthesis. And while she's doing that, you good? She's so good. I'm gonna go through these comments and just see if there's any questions here I can pick up for you guys. All right, so we got some comments coming in here, great. So Blue Diva says every amputee needs one of those exercise balls in their homes. And I agree, it's actually a very inexpensive piece of equipment. It can be used in so many different ways. And I would actually recommend probably a smaller size. That's a really, really big one. But they come in different sizes and you can actually deflate them a little bit if you want to use a smaller size or inflate them to make them bigger, right? Mark says calf is my big issues. Yep. Okay, Patrick says, do you have them preset the pelvis once in the bridge 5 seconds? So basically, Patrick, it's activating. For me, the key point with doing these bridges right is to start squeezing the glutes before they lift the hips up off the mat, okay? Because then you're really, the brain is able to focus and activate the right muscles at the right time. And then since the glutes are activated, as you're lifting up, the core starts activating with it. Okay, does that make sense? Or use the sofa. Absolutely harsh. All right, so let's try this now without the prosthesis, okay? Here we go. We're gonna use this one. Okay, so guys, what I have here, it's actually a step stool I stole from my kids. This is the kind that I use for when they need to reach a cabinet. Again, super cheap. Go to Walmart, less than $10 to get one of these. And I like this one because it's actually, I don't know if you can see it. It's got a nice little curve here, so it fits nicely with the leg, okay? So this is for when my folks are fresh out of surgery and they don't have a prosthesis yet. And this is also for my folks that they just simply are not comfortable with their prosthesis on while they're doing their exercises. So I know I said in the beginning that I want you guys to try to use your prosthesis, but don't beat yourselves up if you're not comfortable with it on. You can still do the strengthening, okay? So it's the same positioning. She's got it underneath her residual limb. It's not underneath her knee, and I'm actually going to scoot it out just a tiny bit. There we go, right there, okay? And it's not at the end of her limb either. We don't want any pressure on the bottom part of her limb, okay? She's got her sound leg bent right here, and it's the same process. She's going to squeeze her butt together and lift up, okay? And it's not a very large movement because she's on the step here, and then back down again. Okay, and actually when we were practicing this, Suzanne mentioned, you know, my residual limb feels a little bit low. I feel like I'm not really able to lift it up. So necessity is the mother of invention. This is just a basic foam roller. And we're just gonna build that up. Go ahead and rest it down. There. So basically it's just building and elevating that limb a little bit more. You can do that by either stacking another box, as long as it's comfortable and it's not pushing into your skin and creating any problems with your skin. You're good to go, okay? So we're gonna have her do that one more time. She's gonna squeeze her bum together, lift up, and then slowly bring it back down again, okay? Squeeze the bum together, lift up, and then bring it back down again. So again, I give these to most of my patients, guys, from all levels. So that's the phase 1 without the prosthesis. No, you're fine, you're fine. Now we're gonna do phase 2. I'm gonna take back the step. And we're going to bring back the giant ball that ate New York City. Here we go. Okay. So same way we did phase 2 with the leg, same positioning. Now you do it without the leg. Okay. So she's got both of her legs positioned on the ball. She's going to squeeze her glutes, bring her hips up. Good. Hold for the count of 5. And then bring it back down again. Squeeze her glutes, and she's doing a marvelous job of breathing through this. and not holding her breath. And then back down again. Very good. That's your phase 2, guys. For phase 3, same positioning. She's going to lift up, and then she's going to lift up her sound leg, and then bring it back down again. Good. And this is a lot of work. Go ahead and break down. This is a lot of work because it means that her residual limb and her hips and her glutes and her core, they're having to stabilize the body to prevent it from wibble wobbling. Okay? So we're going to do one more just like that. Ready? Bring it up. And this time we're going to lift the residual limb because I always like to work both legs. Up and then back down again. And then bring it back down. Wonderful. Thank you, Suzanne.
You're welcome.
Guys, give Suzanne a hand. That's awesome. All right?
Thank you.
So while Suzanne is getting herself ready. That's all right.
How did we do this last?
I know. It's always an adventure. So guys, these are just some of the ways that we can modify this exercise, okay? With the bridge, there's so many different ways that you can adapt it, make it more challenging, make it a little bit easier for the person. With my bilateral amputees, and we're going to see this more with Karen, okay? It's the same positioning. That's the beauty of this exercise. For my above the knee and my below the knee amputees, the positioning is the same, okay? With and without the prosthesis. Yeah, Suzanne is totally killing it. Blue Diva says you're killing it. Absolutely. Hey, we've got, from Manchester, from the UK, we've got our UK folks listening in. That's awesome. Virginia says, I noticed her liner is short. Mine goes up very high on my below the knee, but I'm only 4 feet 11. Does that make a difference? Had my, okay. No, Virginia, actually it doesn't. Now, my models, they're keeping their liners on just for simplicity, okay? But you can take your liner off, especially if when you bend your knee, it's bothering you in the back of your knee to do this exercise. I'm sorry, guys, I'm like squatting down here, so I'm in the picture frame. So Virginia, if you're trying to do this and the back of the liner is bothering your knee, just take your liner off and do it exactly the way we just did it there. Hey, David, I'm so glad you could join us. Guys, those of you watching me from my YouTube channel, don't forget to hit subscribe. So now I'm going to bring on Karen. Oh, yeah. They're having a great conversation. So while Karen is getting herself up over here, I'm just going to show you guys where we did this, okay? So those of you who have my book, and if you don't have my book, what are you waiting for? All right. So the first part of that exercise was on page 39, the phase 1 basic bridge with and without the prosthesis. The second exercise, phase 2, is on page 57. Okay. And then the phase 3, give me a minute, it's here, is on page 66. Okay, guys. So all the exercises I'm doing today, you can find the videos for it at the Strong Body subscription, and you can also find it in the book. Okay. All right, guys. So we're going to start with Karen. Everybody say hello to Karen. Say hi, Karen.
Hi there.
So as you can see, let me angle this properly. Okay.
Working in the garage.
I know it's my very fancy garage, guys. What can I say? What can I say? So as you can see, Karen is a right above the knee amputee. Okay. And I've known Karen for a long time now.
Too long.
It's been a long time. So folks, we're going to be doing these same exercises. Karen is going to demonstrate with the prosthesis and without the prosthesis. Now, one thing about my above the knee amputees, okay? Karen can do all of the exercises with and without the prosthesis. What I find is many of my patients prefer to do it without the prosthesis when they are above the knee amputees, okay? I'm going to demonstrate both ways, okay? All right. Phase 1, basic bridge, okay? So as you can see, we're making sure her knees, her prosthetic knee is more or less aligned with her sound knee. And we've got her foot's not gonna lay flat. It's still kind of kicked up just a little bit. That is normal, okay? Same process, guys. She's gonna squeeze her bum together, and then she's gonna lift up her hips. Up, up, up for the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down, okay? This is also a testament as to how nicely made her socket is because she's able to do this exercise without any pinching or any pushing or anything like that going on, okay? So for me, this is kind of also a diagnostic tool for my clinicians listening. If your patients can do, your above the knee patients can do this exercise with their socket on and they're comfortable, That's a well-made socket. Just a hint. All right, so we're gonna do that one more time. She's gonna squeeze her butt, go up, 2, 3, 4, 5, and slowly bringing it back down. Squeeze the butt, go up, 2, 3, 4, 5, and she's keeping her hips nice and level, slowly bringing it back down. We're gonna do one more slow. Up, 2, 3, 4, 5, slowly bringing it back down. Now she's gonna go up and down quickly. Ready? Up and down. 2 and down. 3, down, 4, and down, and relax. Now, as you can see, her foot slipped just a little bit, and that's okay. You just reposition it and you're done. So just as a reminder, guys, I had her do the nice slow ones to activate those slow twitch fibers, those endurance fibers. And then I immediately had her do fast ones to engage the fast twitch, the power fibers, right? We got to get your brain to recruit more fibers. And that's how you do it. Okay? Did beautifully. Lovely. Okay. Phase 2. We got to come up with a name for this ball.
Hank.
Hank. Uh-oh. Your leg is mad at us now. Okay.
Doesn't like that.
Now, guys, you're looking at Karen right now, and she's just whipping her leg around and she's moving smoothly. She's been practicing this for a long time, okay? The first time that you try positioning your legs up on this ball, it's awkward as all get out. So for those of you who are doing, she's laughing because she remembers, right?
It takes a leg in 2 hands.
It's like it takes a leg and 2 hands, okay? So you see her and she's moving so beautifully and smoothly because she's been practicing. So I don't want any of you to be discouraged from trying these exercises out because you think you're not going to do it right the first time, okay? It takes practice. And it also takes maybe a loved one to hold the ball for you to make sure it doesn't go shooting out like Lucy and Charlie Brown. Was it Lucy who moved the ball away at the last minute? Okay. So as you can see, both of her legs are positioned here nice and even. She's going to squeeze her bum together and she's going to lift up. She's going to hold it and then bring it down. Now, because she isn't above the knee, you can tell I have the ball closer to her butt, mainly so she can get a good lever arm and she can push better with her residual limb. For Suzanne, the below the knee, it was positioned a little bit, hers was positioned a little bit further out. Why? Because Suzanne has more of a residual limb here to use as a lever arm. So if you're in above the knee and you're struggling with this, the way to troubleshoot is to bring the ball closer to your bum, okay? There we go. So we're gonna try one more. Ready? She's gonna squeeze her butt, bring it up, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. Good. She is pushing with both legs. Let me just clarify that. I think. Yes. So George, I'm trying to read the comments and questions here. George, she is pushing with both. So she's pushing with her sound leg, and then she's also pushing with her residual limb. She's pushing down, okay? So ready? Up. And the way I know she's using both is because her hips are nice and even. If her residual hip was further down, it means her residual limb is not pushing enough, okay? And bring it back down again, nice and slow. That is phase 2. Now we're gonna do phase 3. Same positioning, and she's going to lift that leg up. I feel like we're pulling a rabbit out of a hat at this point. Ready?
Which one?
Which one do you want to? Well, let's lift this one.
Okay.
Yeah. So guys, for when you're wearing the prosthesis, she's going to lift up her hips. Go ahead and lift up. And then she's going to lift her sound leg up, and back down to the ball, and then back down again. Guys, she's a rock star, okay? I struggle with this exercise, okay? She did it beautifully because she lifted up, she brought her leg, she kept her pelvis stable. And the ball, I didn't even have to hold on to the ball. But she's been practicing this exercise, guys. That's why she can do it so smoothly. All right, ready? We're gonna do it one more time. Okay, because it's just awesome. Ready? Up, bring this leg up, and back down, and then back down again. Okay? And guys, she's stabilizing the ball with her residual limb and also by using her core muscles. Make sense? All right, guys, we're gonna go through this again without the prosthesis so that you can see it, because I know for the majority of my AKs, you're gonna be doing this without the prosthesis on. Ready? We're gonna lift up. All right. And we're gonna let her get going. So while she's taking care of her leg, I'm gonna answer a very common question. So a lot of times people will ask me, how many repetitions should I be doing? Okay. And the question is, it's different for everybody. Okay. The point of strengthening the body is that you have to fatigue the muscle. Okay. So usually when I'm doing these exercises with folks, I'll have them start off by doing 10 repetitions and I see how they do them. If repetition 8, 9, and 10 are a challenge for them, then I know I've hit the sweet spot. If they are struggling to make it to repetition number 7, it means that they're not ready for 10 reps. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. And if they go through the 10 repetitions and they're not fatigued, they're not feeling anything, then I know I need to make it more challenging. So for those of you right now starting your fitness program, that's how you can kind of start to gauge how many repetitions should you be doing. Okay. So we're going to go through that right now with Karen. All right. So Rupert is asking, what if my residual limb hurts a bit? Okay. So when you're doing this particular exercise, Rupert, you want to protect your residual limb, whether you're below the knee or above the knee. When my models were pushing down, they are not pushing down on the bottom, the end of their limbs. Okay. They're pushing using the bottom, the back of their thighs. That's where they're pushing down. And everybody's a little bit different. Some people might need a little towel roll behind there to cushion it. You want to protect your skin. It should not hurt to do these exercises, okay? It might mean that you need to adjust the exercise somehow. So that's what we're gonna do, okay? All right. Yeah. So again, guys, we have the basic step for the basic bridge right here. And for those of you who are on my bilateral amputees, this is the time for you to listen, because for you, I actually kind of want you doing this exercise without your prosthetic legs on, okay? If you're a bilateral amputee, you either need a longer step or just 2 steps, one for each residual limb. So you would put a step under one limb and a step under the other residual limb. That's how a bilateral below the knee and a bilateral above the knee can do it. Does that make sense, guys? And again, for those of you who have a sensitive limb, if you're having sensitivity under here, you can just do something as simple as putting a towel and just providing a little bit of extra cushion right there, okay? It should be comfortable to do this exercise. So Karen is in a great position. She's got her sound leg bent up right here, and she's gonna squeeze her bum together and lift her hips up. Good. And then bringing it back down again. Okay, squeeze the bum together, bring it up, 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 up. Good. Now she's bringing it up higher. Good. And then back down again. And again, nice, smooth, and controlled movement. Okay. If you have a very short residual limb, okay, it just means that you will need to scoot this up a little bit further and have it closer to your bum. Okay. That's where you have to kind of play around with the positioning and find what works best for you. That's phase 1 without the prosthesis. Now we're going to kick it up a notch. All right. Phase 2. Okay, so she's going to bring her leg up. Good. And as you can see, guys, she's got a medium length limb. It's not a short, not super long. It's probably a medium size, okay? So I'm putting the ball pretty close up to her bum so she can get a good push from this residual limb. Okay, and as you can see, there's no pressure at the end of her residual limb. She's pushing in back here through the thigh muscles in the back. Okay, so once again, she's going to squeeze her bum, lift up. Good. And again, I'm holding the ball here so it doesn't go shooting out. Okay, and then bringing it back down again. And again, this is not going to be a perfect exercise, guys. The limb might fidge a little bit, might wibble wobble. That's supposed to happen. That's why it's called practice, right? Squeezing her butt, lifting up, and then coming back down again. Okay, and she's doing a nice controlled movement. Bringing it up, her hips are nice and level, so I know she's activating both sides, and down again. Okay, ready for phase 3? Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, so for my above the knee amputees, I prefer the phase 3 without the prosthesis on because it's just a little bit easier to lift your residual limb. So she's going to go back up. Okay, lift the residual limb up and bring it back down to the ball and then back down again. Beautifully done. Up, residual limb up, back down, and then back down again. Okay? Sounds good? All right, guys, let me go ahead. We're good.
Done?
That's it.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't she wonderful? She's awesome. All right. Yay for Karen. All right. So you can sit tight for a moment and I'll finish chit chatting with people. All right. Okay, guys, so we're just going to do a quick recap because I know I threw everything in the kitchen sink at you just now. So I just gave you my favorite exercise for exercising the glutes. Okay. And again, guys, check with your physical therapist, check with your doctor, make sure you're good to go for this exercise. There's a phase 1, phase 2, and a phase 3. So beginner, intermediate, and advanced. For all of you, I would recommend start with phase 1. Okay, go back and watch this video. Make sure you're doing it properly. Make sure you're activating the glutes before you lift your hips up. Make sure that when you're at the top, you're holding it for the count of 5. And then when you're coming back down, come down slowly. Make those muscles work. And then after you do slow ones, right? Then do the quick ones, one after the other, so that you're recruiting slow twitch fibers and you're going to recruit those fast twitch fibers. You're going to maximize how many fibers you're recruiting from your gluteal muscles, okay? And guys, like I said, in this video, you've got the beginner, intermediate, advanced, with prosthesis, without the prosthesis, above the knee, and below the knee. And guys, this is just one of the exercises on my Strong Body Exercise program, okay? There's 150 more of these kind of exercises in that program, okay? So go to that website. I'm gonna go ahead and put it up one more time. And guys, we're gonna make it even more interesting because it's Christmas and it's my favorite time of year. For the next 5 people, there's the website. For the next 5 people who purchase a subscription or the book, which I put it down here somewhere, or the book, I will send you a free Cozy Talks mug. Sounds good? So the next 5 people who go and either buy a subscription or buy the book, I will send you a free Cozy Talks mug. Go. All right, so David asks, are the benefits to engaging the muscles core the same with the prosthesis on and off, or a different set of muscles engaged? Very good question. He says, great job, Karen. Very good question, David. So the benefits of having your prosthesis on is that your brain is engaging with the leg, okay? So the more activities that you use your leg with, the more your brain will accept that leg as being a true part of your body, more connection, okay? More proprioception, okay? It's the same muscles that are being used, David. Now, the flip side to that is there are just some people who don't like exercising with their leg on, and that's okay. That's okay. It doesn't mean that you can't strengthen those muscles. And as you can see, I provided 3 different ways to strengthen that muscle without the prosthesis on, okay? For beginner through the advanced, okay? So especially some of I'm thinking of one young lady in particular. She's an extremely active amputee. She's a runner. She's phenomenal, and she loves doing yoga, but she cannot stand to do yoga with her prosthesis on. She just doesn't like it. So she does it with the prosthesis off, and that's okay. That's the whole point of demonstrating these exercises, to show you both ways to do it, okay? And as always, guys, if you are doing it with your prosthesis on, make sure your socket is fitting properly. Make sure your skin isn't getting pinched anywhere, or there's no chafing or friction going on, okay? Ah, Mark, you are the bomb. Okay. All right, guys. So I think this was our first one. Would you guys like for me to continue doing this on Wednesday mornings? Can I see in the comment section thumbs up or yes, or, was this helpful for you guys? I'd love to know. Especially those of you who are on my YouTube channel. By the way, hit subscribe, guys. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, go ahead and do that now if you haven't done so. So we're going to go ahead and maybe do this next Wednesday. Are you busy next Wednesday?
I don't think so.
Okay. So you guys heard it. She's coming next Wednesday. And we're getting Suzanne too. She doesn't know yet, but she's coming too. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and get these 2 beautiful ladies back here next Wednesday. And I'm going to pick a whole new exercise to do. And I'm going to break it down just the same way again. Okay. Now tonight, guys, I have two very special guests coming on my show at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So don't think that you're off the hook for that. All right, guys, with that, I'm going to sign off. Remember, the first 5 people who buy a subscription or buy a book, I'm going to send you a free Cozy Talks mug. All right, guys, I'm going to let these ladies go. I'm going to go grab some lunch, and I will see you guys tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.